Hi everyone, Anna Buono here, your local realtor and North Haven neighbor. So for this interview, I headed down to Moonrise Cafe and had the pleasure of interviewing Bruce and Dan Gallup. So take a few minutes, watch this interview, this video, and really get to know them and their business. And at the end, they have a nice little treat for you, so make sure you watch it in entirety. And you'll see, or not see, that I'm behind the camera asking questions. I did that so that they were able to take off their masks and we were all socially distant. So enjoy. Okay, so we are here with Bruce and Dan Gallup at Moonrise Lounge. And you guys like to call it, is it lounge or cafe?
It's actually a cafe.
It's cafe, okay, all right. And you have been here for how long, or owned the cafe for how long
Well, the cafe's
now?
been here for over 7 years. We've been owning and operating it just a little over, well, actually, it was a year, February 1st, so we just celebrated.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you, thank you.
And your wife, your mom, Elise, could not be here today, but she is also part of this family business.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep,
Absolutely.
a big
very
part.
Key part of it, yeah.
Very key part of it, right. And are you guys from town, from North Haven?
Elise was raised in North Haven. I was raised in multiple parts of the state, shall we say. A little bit here, a little bit there. But this part of Connecticut is basically where we were raised in and we were familiar with. So.
Okay, and Dan, you grew up in North Haven?
Yeah, once we moved back from being in New York for a while, yeah, probably, what was it, 98? We came back.
We moved back, yeah.
Okay.
My job took me around different parts of from different areas, so in 98 we finally moved.
Settled back in North
And we've been
Haven.
here ever since, yeah.
Yeah. And so what made you decide to buy a cafe and manage and run a cafe?
Well, that kind of sort of came about unexpectedly. We'd been customers here almost since the day it opened up, so we got to know the original family that owned it, and we loved the place because of its relaxed atmosphere and everything. And about a year and a half ago, one of the owners came up to Elise and said, you know, this would be a great little retirement business for you. And kind of planted the seed in our mind, and we kind of toyed around with it on and off for a good 4 or 5 months. And then we finally started negotiating what the prices and stuff, and we met, and here we are.
Here you are, yeah.
So we're not sure about the retirement business.
Yeah, right. It kind of tricked you into that one, right?
Yeah, that was kind of sort of a step into it, but we're waiting for that part to come about.
Yeah.
Plus, we just loved what it was, and the kind of the vibe, the environment, everything that it was, and we didn't want that changing if someone from not town came in and wanted to just upheave everything. So I think a lot of it was just we wanted to keep the continuity and just kind of build on it and make it a little better, or like make our little improvements to make it like our own. So I think that was a big driver too.
Yeah, for sure. As somebody from town who's come here since the day one, the 7 years ago, you guys have done a really great job. And
we tried to make it as seamless as possible because there were a lot of old regular not age-wise, but a lot of regular customers have been coming here over the years, and we didn't want them to see all of a sudden a big change because we liked it the way it was, and so we wanted to maintain that.
Right.
But there were some things that we wanted to do to make our own too.
And there's nothing like it around. There's really
Right.
nothing. There's nobody else unless you go to Hamden. I don't even think Wallingford has anything. So it's nice to have something different.
Right.
For people, or at least like a kind of more of a small town option for people. So.
Good. And so earlier we were chit-chatting before I put the camera on about some of your specialties here at the cafe. People can see that you have quite a multitude of different types of teas.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your teas here?
Well, yeah, I know Elise mostly takes charge of the teas, but one of the goals was to expand the tea line And we found out quite by accident, I guess, or by just being here, that there's a lot of tea drinkers in town that we weren't aware of. Even me, I'm drinking tea for the first time in my life. But she wanted to expand it to the point where it became seasonal, and so she changes the teas around. We have over 50 varieties of teas that we keep in stock on a regular basis. And it changes based on what the customer input is and what the customers ask for. And so that's one of the special things that we've decided to specialize in and expand on as far as our customer base is concerned. And it's been successful, so we're really enjoying it.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I have to try some teas next time. You know, people think of a coffee cafe and always, go to the coffee, but for sure you have so many varieties of teas that I have to try one day.
Well, right now, this time of the year, we're into the healthy teas, the cold and flu type teas.
Okay.
Weight loss teas, if you will, to kind of satisfy some of those New Year's resolutions that people make every year that they don't keep.
Those must be selling like hotcakes, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And tell me, what is probably one of your most popular food items and drink items here that people? Well, I know mine.
Moonrise special.
Well, food item, that's me. I'm the cook. But one thing that is been probably the number one food item is the Moonrise special.
Mm-hmm. That's mine.
Yep, that's our egg and avocado on a lightly toasted croissant. And I was amazed at the popularity of it, but I can see it because everything here that we do food-wise is fresh made. There's nothing grab and go here. Everything here is fresh made. And especially the Moonrise special, because the croissants are basically fresh. I buy them fresh once a week, and so they're all basically fresh. The eggs, again, we buy fresh every week. So everything is either organic or fresh, and we get as much locally as we possibly can. So
That's good.
And so I can understand the popularity of it. Now, I have yet to eat one because I'm not that big on avocado.
Really?
No, I'm not that big on avocado. However, I've tried almost all of our sandwiches, and so I can recommend them highly from a personal perspective.
Okay. All right. And let's see. One thing, was there ever an experience with a customer that you can think of? Oh, you're laughing, Dan. Is that a yes?
Yeah, we were talking about that last night.
A memorable experience.
I don't get that much into the customers, but we were talking about a particular incident last night where a customer had ordered a couple of smoothies. And don't ask me what happened, but for some reason or other, he dropped one and it landed directly on the bottom of the cup. And the smoothie went, so we refer to it as a smoothie geyser. And the smoothie just went up all over the place and scattered around. And it was, and all he could do, and he had it on him, all he could do was just
stand there and stare.
And my understanding was everybody was just standing there laughing. I felt so sorry for the poor guy. So that was an interesting experience. But we'd like to think every customer interaction is a good experience for us. We try and make it one for the customers, and one of our goals is to try and make sure every customer that walks in the door is glad they stopped in because they were welcomed properly. And we try and get to know as many of them as we can. If we're here more than once, we hope we've learned your name at least. We may not remember it, but we hope we've at least learned your name and a little bit about you. So that goes along with the atmosphere we're trying to create.
Great. Yeah. And so when I came in earlier, I saw 2 local police officers, and you mentioned that you have a great relationship with the department in town.
This is something that we're very adamant about, and that's continuing support for any of our local first responders, fire, police, ambulance. We have a couple of the ambulance corps that they have to park their bus in various areas in order to be ready for any call, so they'll come here and they'll park their bus here so they can be ready to go, but they can still have access to facilities here in the area. As you saw this morning, the police stop in on a regular basis. We have state troopers that come in that are assigned to the area, fire department. these are all big, important things for us to continue on and make sure that we support the local community in a lot of different ways, and the police and fire and ambulance just happens to be some of them.
That's great. That's great to hear that, you're part of the community in the sense of helping wherever you can, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the attractions for me anyway, is that, I owned other businesses, been involved in other businesses. I also own a martial arts school down in East Haven. So servicing the community is part of something that I've been involved in for a while. And we saw this as an opportunity not only to serve our community, but to get to know our community better, North Haven. And so far it's been positive.
Good.
Yeah.
And is there anything else that you think you want people to know about you, your family, or the cafe itself?
Family-wise, I think you're probably going to find we're probably one of the more diverse families. I mean, we have a lot of different things. Daniel is a wine aficionado, if you will.
Oh.
He's and a lot of certifications in wine and getting into wine.
Wow. Maybe you'll add wine to the menu?
That was a joking thought a while ago.
We joked around about that.
You have, yeah.
But there is that potential maybe down the road.
Yeah,
Who knows?
that would be great.
Elise is just a great business model for us, and she's been involved in businesses as well, and so she's been great in just helping us. She currently has a real job, if you will. She works for an auto auction down in Hamden, but she manages a lot of the finances and a lot of the other stuff for us. So she's great.
She's behind the scenes.
Yeah.
She's a lot behind the scenes. Only temporarily though. That was the goal for the retirement.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll see how that works out. I'm an internationally recognized martial artist, so the diversity in our family is quite good. We have a son that works locally for a company here that's very mechanically inclined, so he does a lot with that. Both him and I are both veterans.
Okay.
So,
thank you for your service.
It was our honor, believe it, both of us, it was our honor. But so we're not only a family-owned business, we're a veteran-owned business as well. So it brings us a little bit closer to the community and responsibilities of it there.
That is very good to know. So thank you for mentioning that. Well, this was really great to be able to sit with both of you. Sorry, Elise is not here, but
we are too. We were hoping that she likes the behind-the-scenes thing, so I think it would have been a little difficult for her anyway.
in front of the camera,
Yeah,
right?
probably,
Yeah.
She likes being behind the scenes.
Yeah. So anything else you want to add to let the people that are watching know about you, or tell them to come down?
Well, no, not really. I mean, I think we'd like to think that what we've done here speaks for itself. We get a lot of college kids and high school kids coming in here doing their studies because we provide free internet service and internet access for them. So I just think what we're doing is good, and I'd like everybody to come down and experience it and get to know us a little bit so we can get to know them.
All right, great.
We did come up with a little thing last night though. Anybody who happens to listen to this interview and mentions it when they come in, we're going to offer them a free drink of their choice.
A free drink of their choice for mentioning their
That is
mentioning they watch the interview.
We're going to try to encourage them to see what you're doing, and in the process come on down and see what we're doing.
That's fantastic. Yeah, thank you so much for that offer. I'm sure people will take advantage of that.
Well, we hope they do, but we hope you're successful in what you're doing.
Thank you.
We like that. We like anything that opens up the community to the population and gives the community a chance to see what good is being done here. In today's environment, they need to know that there's positive stuff going on, and we'd like to be part of that.
Right, and this is really, social media can do a lot of good. Lately, we see a lot of the bad, but this is one of those things that definitely will spread good.
We thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Not just for what we're doing, but for anybody that you touch. In spreading some good words for a change.
Right. We want people to support local, support the people in town,
absolutely.
And take advantage of all these great places we have in town with their
And we
wonderful
do
people.
that too. It's between us, and then you have, you know, the restaurant next door, and there's a couple delis, and people will ask like if we have certain things, and there's certain things we just don't have. But we've kind of taken to saying we don't, but here's who does.
That's
Go support
great.
local there. So a lot of the businesses seem to be doing that lately.
Wonderful.
And I hope
Yeah.
that just continues.
Continues.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. Great. So, guys, thank you so much for taking the time out this morning to sit with me. And I will see you soon.
It was a great
Because I'm
experience.
here.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.